Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about how to create the endpoint security policies in Intune environment. For example, there are multiple ways you can create your Windows Defender endpoint security policies. Either you can use your Active Directory GPO to create the policy, or you can use Intune, or you can use Microsoft Configuration Manager, which is SCCM. So there are multiple ways you can create the endpoint security policy. But in this video, I'm going to demo how to create the endpoint security policy using the Intune. So I'm going to segregate this video into three part. In the first part, I will show you some important endpoint security policies like your endpoint detection and response policy, your antivirus policy, exclusion policy, attack surface reduction policies, and your defender firewall. And the second part of video, I will show you how after we create the policy, we have to make sure that the policy should be applied to the target endpoint. So in order to do that, what is the how we can do the manual sync from the both Intune portal as well as from your Microsoft, as well as from your target endpoint. And the third part of the video, I'm going to show what are the various methods is available to validate the policy. Since we have created the policy and we have made a successful sync, but we have to still make sure that whatever settings that we have configured inside the policy, it should be properly applied on my target endpoint. So for that, I'm going to showcase three methods. The one, we can use the user interface to validate the policy settings, and the second method, we can use PowerShell to validate the policy setting, and in third method, we can use Intune itself to validate the policy. Okay, let's jump into the Intune portal. So as a part of method one, I'm going to create the EDR policy. So for that, I'm going to my Intune admin center, and here I can click on the endpoint security section, and if you go to manage section, and you can find endpoint detection and response. So here I'm going to click on endpoint detection response, create policy. I'm going to choose my platform Windows 10, 11 or server. Since my target machine, it is going to be Windows 11, and then I'm going to select the profile as endpoint detection and response, click on create, and keep the name for your policy, and I'm going to select the auto from connector. So it will make sure that your devices will get automatically onboard into the defender for endpoint if the MDE tenant and your Intune tenant are the same. For example, if you are having if you want to onboard a machine to different tenant, in that case you can choose the manual way of providing the onboarding package and do the onboarding itself. So for this demo, I'm going with the auto from connector, and then sample sharing, I'm going to go with the all. Let's go to the assignment section. Here I'm going to choose my target group where I want to deploy my EDR policy, and then I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to click create. That's it. So your endpoint detection and response policy is ready, and it is applied to the target endpoint. So now we will go to the antivirus policy. For that, again, I'm going back to my Intune admin center, click on endpoint security, under manage, select antivirus, click create policy. Here I'm going to choose platform as Windows 11. I'm going to select the profile and choose Windows Defender Antivirus, and going to click create, and just type Defender Antivirus and click on next. And I'm not going to choose all the settings. I'm going to choose some couple of settings since it is in a demo. I'm going to turn my behavior monitoring. I'm going to turn on my cloud protection, and I'm going to turn on my real-time monitoring. And if you can see some of the configuration is saying not configured. For example, if you see the scan parameter is showing as not configured, doesn't mean if you leave this as a not configured, it will not configure any setting for your target endpoint. Even though if you are leaving your the setting as not configured, still the default setting will be applied to the target end machine. In this case, the default scan parameter is your quick scan. Okay, so I'm not going to choose any other setting for now. I'm going to click next, and I'm going to click on assignments, and under the assignments I'm going to add my group needs to be targeted for this antivirus policy. Then I'm going to click on next, and I'm going to validate, yes, my this policy, whatever I have created here, it is going to be applied on my Windows 11 target group. I'm going to click on create. So you have done with the Defender antivirus policy. So now let's go back to the list, and now we can create the exclusion policy. So again, go to your Intune Admin Center, click on Home, Endpoint Security, and click on the antivirus and create policy. Here I will choose my platform, but here I will choose the Microsoft Defender antivirus exclusion, and I'm going to click on create, and I'm going to type the name of the policy, and I'm going to click on next. So as you are aware about that, the Microsoft Defender antivirus supports three type of exclusion: your extension, path, and process. For this demo, I'm going with the path. Just I'm going to give some dummy path name, and then I'm going to click on the next, and then I'm going to assign to my target group, and then going to click next, and I'm going to create. So now we have created the exclusion policy, and this exclusion policy can also be created inside your Defender antivirus. Just for a demo, I want to show in you can also create the exclusion policy in separate and target to the specific devices in your environment. And the next one is your attack surface reduction. So when you say the attack surface reduction, the attack surface reduction contains multiple capabilities like your network protection, your control folder access, your attack surface reduction rules. So all these combinedly called as the attack surface reduction. In our antivirus policy, there is an option called network protection. If you enable that, the network protection will be enabled under the antivirus itself. But if you want to create a separate policy for ASR, the attack surface reduction, in that case you can go to your admin center and click on the endpoint security and click on the attack surface reduction, and click on create policy, and here I'm going to choose my platform, and then I'm going to choose attack surface reduction rules. I'm going to click on click create. So here I'm going to give some name that makes sense, and going to click on next. There will be multiple list of attack surface rules are available to be created. For this demo, I'm going to go with something that I want to show to validate whether it is created in the target endpoint or not. So I'm going to select this for a block. Block Adobe Reader from creating child process, and I'm going to create block to other process. So I have created two things, and here there is another option called enable control folder access. This is not your ASR rule, but it is another capability of your attack surface reduction. So I'm going to enable um, the control folder access, and this if you are having any folder that needs to be protected as a part of control folder access, then you can turn on this toggle button and add your folder that needs to be protected. And if you have any folder locations that you want to be allowed from the control folder access, then in that case you can configure here and put that folder location here. So for demo, I'm not going to do configure any of control folder access protected or application. I'm going to click on next, and under the assignment section, I'm going to target to my Windows 11 platform. I'm going to click next and create. So now your attack surface reduction policy is created. So in this attack surface reduction policy, we have created two capabilities. One is your attack surface reduction rule, and second one is your control folder access. And the next one is the Defender Firewall. For that, I'm going back to my Intune Admin Center, click on Home, Endpoint Security, Manage, and click on Firewall. Here I can create the policy, and I'm going to select the platform. I'm going to select the firewall, Microsoft Defender Firewall, and I'm going to click on Create. So here I'm going to give some name that makes sense, and I'm going to click on next and going to expand the firewall. I'm not going to configure all the settings here. Just I'm going to enable the profiles in the firewall. So we all know that in host firewall we will be having three types of profile: your public profile, private profile, and your domain profile. So I'm going to enable those profiles. So enable domain profile, domain network profile, and I'm going to enable my private profile, and I'm going to enable my public network profile, and I want to block inbound action from my public profile. And I'm going to click next and do the assignment here, and I'm going to select my Windows 11 and click on next and create. So now we have created Windows Defender Firewall policy. So we have done with the first part of this video. We have created EDR policy, antivirus, exclusion, ASR, and Windows Defender Firewall. Okay, so in this second part of this video, I'm going to show you how to do the policy sync from Intune portal and from your target endpoint. So let's go start with the method one. Let me open my Intune portal, and here I'm going to click on the device section, and this will list out all my devices which is enrolled into the Intune, and I'm going to select my device which I have targeted all the policies. And once you open the device name here, you will be having option called sync. So if you click on the sync, and it will give you the message that the sync will be initiated, and I'm going to play initiate the sync, and now the sync is getting initiated. So this is the way you can do the sync from the Intune portal for one particular device. And the second method is how to sync the policy from the target endpoint. So for this, I'm going to open my target endpoint, and I'm going to open the setting. And after you open the setting, there is an option called accounts. And under the accounts, there is an option called access, work, or school. If you click that one, and you can see your account that has been used to connect to this machine. And once you click on that account name, there will be an option called info. And if you click on that info, you will get a list of details, and we are interested in device sync status. And if you click on sync, then the sync will be initiated in the target endpoint, and it will take less than a minute to complete the sync based on the list of policies that you have configured in your Intune portal. So once the sync is completed, you will be getting the sync was successful. And this is how you can do the sync from the target endpoint. Okay, now we will do the third part of the video, which is validating the policy. For that, I'm going to do the method one, how to validate the your security policies using the user interface. Let me go back to my target endpoint, and I'm going to open my Defender app, Windows Security app. In that, if you go to virus and threat protection, here you will be seeing all the options for your virus and threat protection. I'm going to click on manage setting, and to validate whether my settings are properly applied, here if I click on add or remove exclusion, if you remember, we have created a policy called for for exclusion that we are trying to add C/test folder. So it was successfully reflected in my endpoint. So similarly, you can use your registry editor. For example, if you go to computer, HK local machine, software, policies, Microsoft, and Windows Defender, and if you click on the policy manager, here you will be seeing all the settings that we have created in your Intune, which is successfully applied to your target endpoint. So this is one of the way you can use to validate using the user interface. The second method, we can validate the policy using the PowerShell. So I'm going back to my target endpoint, and I'm going to open my PowerShell. So here I'm going to use the command called getmp preference. So this command will give list of settings which is applied to this target endpoint. So here, if you see here, I'm also seeing my exclusion path is C/test, which is we have created in the policy. And if you see, since I'm in the same command, I'm going to see whether my attack surface reduction is also created. So yeah, we have created a couple of attack surface rules, and that also has been successfully created in the uh, endpoint, and we have validated here. So here we have validated using the PowerShell. Now let's go do the validation using your Intune portal. So I'm going back to my Intune portal. So I'm going to endpoint security, click on antivirus, and for example, if I want to validate my exclusion policy, then I'm going to click on exclusion, defender exclusion policy name, and here you will see it got successfully applied to one of the machine. And if you click on view report, you will get more details about individual settings, whether it is successfully applied or not. If any setting is not applied on the target endpoint, it will be showing your error or conflict screen. Similarly, you can validate your antivirus settings and your firewall settings here, and you can validate your endpoint detection and response settings here, and the attack surface reduction settings here. So all these things we can go to the individual policies and check the policy status. Thank you everyone. I will meet you on next video with good content. Thank you.